Check it out, guys. Holy cow. It is a fucking beautiful morning. Holy shit. How are you guys doing? I know it's been a while and I'm sorry. I've been taking care of a lot of stuff trying to get back up and running. Between, you know, picking up Tessa and getting registration and the insurance and everything finished, it was quite a not really a struggle per se, but I had some hiccups. So yeah, this is Tessa. YouTube meet Tessa, Tessa meet YouTube. I'm not going to do a reveal for a minute or two. Probably about another week. I gotta film it, do all the editing work and everything. So you guys get to see the back of Tessa for a little while. That'll be about it. I'm not gonna get off and show you guys the bike. But yeah, so a little bit about Tessa. She's a 2005 GS500F. Originally, she was the blue and white color. She obviously isn't anymore. I'm not going to tell you guys the complete color pattern. I'll just leave it up to y'all's imagination. Problems when I got the bike. She had, oh, my bar end is almost fucking coming out. Holy shit. She wouldn't start. The master cylinder needed to be replaced, and both of those items weren't too bad to fix. I mean, I obviously had a hard time getting her to start, but once I got it working and I figured out what the problem was, it was pretty simple and straightforward from there. Sorry, I just woke up. The master cylinder was another piece. It took a little bit of time. I ordered one off of eBay and it was great, and I really enjoy it. It's what's on here now. It was just that the only downside with it was it took me almost, Jesus, it took us like an hour and a half to 2 hours or so to fucking get up to speed, like to get it to work right. And that doesn't sound right whenever you're like bleeding brakes or anything like that. Like, it seriously took us almost an hour and a half to bleed the brakes. And I couldn't get any resistance in her. We could get braking power, but it wasn't sufficient. Didn't feel safe. The lines, I guess, were not really old, but it definitely took a minute for everything to set in, I guess. But now she's good. So other than paint, which I think took the longest, obviously, because I painted everything in pieces. I didn't paint it on the bike. So everything that I've done, I'll do a before and after. Once I do the release, and let you get that way, you guys can kind of see what she look like. Yeah, so back on my own pair of twos, you know what I mean? No more borrowing bikes. So everybody who allowed me to ride their bike or borrow, or even think about borrowing, thank you. It really was fucking awesome you guys let me do that. It means a lot, you guys letting me stay up on two wheels for a little while until I got Tessa sorted out. But yeah, so future plans with Tessa. As for just like straight, you know, keeping her running and getting everything up to speed. I got to figure out a bracket to mount the Speedo. It's obviously held on by zip ties. And I need to do chain sprockets, brakes, rotors, and other than that, everything else is just basic maintenance. But yeah, so everything has been going on recently with trying to get Tessa up to speed. I also picked up a Stkr leather jacket, which, if I do say so myself, looks fucking awesome. I've been eyeing this jacket for a long time, ever since I wore one of the race suits that one of our buddies has. Oh, that leads somewhere else, never mind. I was gonna go down that road, but that leads to a fucking airfield. That was a big ass helicopter, holy shit. Yeah, I had my eye on this for a while. It's pretty expensive. I bought it from Cycle Gear, and it's about $370, I want to say. Which, in all honesty, you know, if you're going to be paying for a leather jacket, you know, go ahead and, you know, spend the money, spend the access money. You know what I mean? I mean, it may sound really expensive, but you know, what's the cost of your skin? You know what I mean? That's a bump. Oh, another thing for Tessa, the suspension on the GS500F is really, really, really soft. Tessa's a little bit older. She's an 05, so that softness has actually broken in to allow more softness, if that makes any sense. So she's not. I don't have a stiff ride suspension-wise. And that can be really problematic for a sport bike, especially when you're trying to retain traction through corners and whatnot. And there's been a couple times where I've actually felt the suspension give out in a corner, where it actually legitimately, it flexed outwards while I was in the corner, and I could feel tires slip pretty bad. And it was fucking terrifying. So I've got another shock that's on the way. It turns out you can actually you can drop an R6 rear shock into the GS500 without any, like, maintenance, like, not maintenance, but any, without any, like, work. Like, it's the same, like, design and, like, bolts right up. And on top of it being for an R6, it's got, much, much better, controls over doing any kind of preload or compression or anything like that, like what you would find on, you know, what you would find on like a super sport or sport, you know, an actual sport bike. Not that Tessa's not a sport bike, but she's more of a naked kind of cruiser bike, cruiser sport touring. There we go. Than she is a true sport bike. I've never been on this side of the airfield. That's kind of cool. So getting that rear shock in here will actually be really fucking nice, and that'll come in later this week. I will definitely give you guys a peek at how I do that, because that's definitely something that I think everybody who owns a GS500 should do. It's probably one of the simplest upgrades to do, because literally unbolts and bolts right in. There's all kinds of upgrades that you can do for this bike. I know a lot of people have done GS500 or Gixxer and Katana front end and rear end swaps, so you can actually swap out the whole triple tree setup, beefier forks, and you can actually put in a Gixxer rear end so that you can allow for a little bit of a wider tire, which is really cool. But it's one of those kind of things that's more of like a novelty sake. I don't really know what the exact dimension. Right now, stock, the tires up front is 110, the one in the rear is at 130. but I'm pretty sure I can push that to like a 120, 140 setup, just to give me a little bit more rolling room on out onto the edges. But I've already taken her up Blood Mountain. She feels great, save for the tires. The tires are a little old, so they didn't hold traction as well. But other than that, man, you guys definitely look forward to some footage here in the future of the reveal of the rear shock swap. I'm definitely going to do that soon once it comes in. And just keep eyes to the channel for sure. I'm really excited about being able to do another reveal video that I'm actually going to get to finish. And I'm really sorry, Ruth, I love you. But that really bummed me out that I didn't get to finish that video. So you guys stay tuned. Thanks for sticking with me, and you guys take it easy, alright? Later.